That's Hashem. That's tzaddik. Two things. You can talk from today forever. You know nothing. You're not a Talmud Chacham. It's two separate things. There's being a Talmud Chacham, and there's the credit you get for applying yourself. Man gets phenomenal credit, but in terms of what do you know nothing. Okay? So, a tzaddik is a tzaddik. He'll get tremendous reward in the world to come. No? And he has special value in Hashem's eyes, but... Sure, he's a tzaddik. Of course he's a tzaddik. Well, he has to do things right, correctly. We're not talking about the person who's not living as a proper Jew. He's applying, but he doesn't understand many things. He's a simple Jew, what we call the simple Jew. There's a famous story with Arizal. Arizal, he was traveling with his Talmidim. He was with his Talmidim, and came upon a Jew, simple Jew, who had his means of livelihood was his donkey. And as he's walking, the donkey stumbles over a rock, a boulder, breaks its leg. And the donkey has to be killed. So it's his sole source of livelihood. And the simple Jew says, Yishtabach Shemu. Hashem should be praised. If that's the will of Hashem, that's it. I mean, that was his pure faith. The man was a very simple Jew. And then, right after he says that, he moved the stone that his donkey tripped over. He lifts up the stone, he finds a treasure under the stone, which compensated endless times more than the donkey was worth, and he was basically became a wealthy man. So Arizal said to his students, what's going on? Okay, somebody's calling you. So Arizal said to his students, he says, what he came upon, we could have never come upon. His emun is emun pshuta. His faith is based on such purity. The man is not a Talmud Chacham. Despite that, he lost everything. This is livelihood. He has such pure faith in God. And he praises God. If that's his will, I accept it. So Hashem immediately rewards him. But us, everything we have to understand. Why, when, what, with all kinds of calculations. It's not accepted just blindly with that pure faith. Therefore, we would not merit it, he merited it. It's a whole different level. Okay. We're holding page 312. Wow. Megillah b'Yudalev tezvot tzorach las achasoro. The Megillah read in the open city or the walled city, that's the 14th, 15th, you should try to put together a minyan. The Kriyas Megillah. On the 14th and the 15th. The mi'efsher b'asoro, what about if you can't put together a minyan? Korenos of yochid. So you yotze, Kriyas Torah, you cannot have Kriyas Torah without a minyan. But the Kriyas Megillah, you're able to have without a Megillah. But l'chatchila, preferably, you should have a minyan. But if you're not able, Koros of yochid with a bracha, everything's permitted. Hagov yishestapik im noshim starfus lasoro. It's based on the ritzvot. He says, but it's questionable whether women can be counted into the 10. So l'chatchila, if you have 10 people and within the 10 you have women, is that sufficient? You have to look for an additional men to have 10 men. So he says, yesh l'stapik. So I mentioned once there's a ritvot. The ritvot says on the Gemara in Dafei, Megillah, what's the concept? Why do you need normally a minyan? Let's say for Kriyas Torah, for Kedusha, or for Kaddish. Because Torah says you need Eidah. Eidah is 10. Right? We learn from the spies. So therefore, as a result, it's 10. So women are not included within Eidah. They're not. But what do you need 10 for Kriyas Megillah? It's presuming Nisa. You need a public setting. So presuming Nisa, we don't differentiate whether it's man or woman, as long as you publicize the miracle in a public setting. If it's a question of status, women don't qualify to establish Eidah. Then you need 10 men. But Megillah, which is purely presuming Nisa, is it sufficient for women to create that setting? That's the question. The Ritva says no, you don't have to have 10 men. As long as you have 10 Jews listening to Kriyas Megillah, that's sufficient. Okay? But the Ramos says it's not so simple. He says, yesh l'stapik. No. Children are counted. Only women. Let's see, Yudches. Yudal Tesvov. Haini Yudal Biyoros. Tesvov Mukofin. That's interesting. Rashi says in Megillah, what's the reason why it's Machlokes Rav Ravasi whether you need a minyan on Yudalit or not? So he says, because since the majority of Jews are reading the Megillah on Yud, therefore it is man Pirsum Nisa. It's a time all Jews are reading the Megillah. So because even though you personally, you don't have the Pirsum Nisa in your personal setting, but since it's a time of Pirsum Nisa, that's sufficient. Sufficient. That's why even if you don't have the minyan, you could read the Megillah. Okay? So now the question is, so it seems from Rashi, he says, because the majority of Jews are reading the Megillah on Yud Tezvav, the majority of Jews don't live within walled cities. It has to be a walled city for Tam Yeshua ben Nun. So if that's the case, it seems from the way Rashi explains it, it would have been Tezvav. The discussion tomorrow is, could you read the Megillah on Yud without a minyan? That's the argument. But it seems to be Tezvav. Everybody in a walled city, it seems to everybody agree you would need a minyan. Because since the majority of Jews are not reading the Megillah on the 15th, but from the Mechaber, it seems not this way. Because the Mechaber says whether it's the 14th or the 15th, you should have a minyan l'chatchila. If you don't, you can read it privately. But on the 15th, the majority of Jews are not reading the Megillah. Okay? You know, Yotze, it's not your obligation. If you live in the walled city, you have no obligation. Doesn't make a difference. Doesn't make a difference. Privately, definitely. You're not Yotze. You're not up. We had early. What about a person, he missed out on the 14th and wants to read on the 15th? You're not Yotze. You missed the boat. I mean, a person's from a non-walled city, and for whatever reason, he missed it, he wants to read on the 15th. He's not Yotze. He missed the same thing, the other way. Okay? Let's see. B'Yudal Tezvav, Hainu B'Yudal v'the Yoris Tezvav L'mkofin, the 14th for the open cities, the 15th for the walled city, B'Rot Saloma, Ab Shehu B'Zmano of Ika B'Sumi Niso, B'Lafochi, Sharakol Korim Osa B'Zman, Afiloch Tzorch L'Truach L'Kabitz Asoro. It says, although people are all reading it during this time, nevertheless, you should make the effort to gather a minyan. She beisa kriya b'shum pirsumi diso. Kolshkim hu shlo bismano. Kodem forish b'yam v'yotzi b'shayor de'inyo motzi b'gila hulechimo demutel hagdim l'krosa kodem shiyotze. Kanal b'sif tofresh peiches. Siv zayin o de'misrami yom tezvav b'shabis. Svichen amukofen hagdim l'krosa b'er b'shabis. Kirisa sham tez. Yeah. Sivov. V'varei tzorch l'kabitz asor l'kriyos. B'zeh od chomi yoser. The leka asor lo yivorchu amukofin oleo. See, in Chiddush he says. Lachzach asoro v'im be'esa hu koren osa b'tzi beis hakneses. Yep. He says you should make the effort to put together a minyan. He says, what happens if that time in shul they're reading it? You have 100 people who come to Yas for Kriyas Megillah, and you could hear the Megillah in shul. Right? Again. There are more people in the shul. More people in the shul. Even if you have 100, but there are more. We have the principle of Rov HaMajas Melech. You should go to the shul. You're a neighbor. Your windows are open. You can hear the Megillah in your home from the shul. You should be part of that group. It's not enough to hear from that. You should be there. It's a chiddush. Well, no, even though we're saying it's Shomei Kona, that you're being Yotze with the one who's reading, he's your agent, and he's reading it in a setting, which is Rav Halajas Melech. But since you're not participating in that reading, being in that location, you're lacking Rav Halajas Melech. You're not part of that glorifying the king. Therefore, it's not enough to be outside the shul. You should go into the shul. No, then you read in the house. See, it's not. The Gemara says in Brachos that if your person has a choice, you have no minyan. To daven in shul b'yechidus, daven at home b'yechidus. Where should you daven? Shul. Why? Because it says, "B'mokum rino sham tei tefillah." In the location which you normally sing the praises of God, that's where you should pray. That's where you should pray. Of course, it's called Kedushas Beis HaKnesses, or the Kedusha of Beis HaMedrash. But if no, unless of course you have a minyan at home and you have no minyan in shul, right? Then of course you have with the minyan. But here we're speaking the shul. The special value of the shul is because you have more people there. Kriyas Megillah doesn't have to be in the shul. Kedushas Beis HaKnesses has nothing to do with Kriyas Megillah. Tefillah, it has relevance to Tefillah. Because Tefillah and Kedushas Beis HaKnesses, they're connected. Or Kedushas Beis HaMedrash. But this is Pirsumim Nisa. What difference does it make if you publicize the miracle outside the shul or in the shul? It's the same thing. All makes difference is the numbers. Before. So what? It's post. It's after marriage. Okay? But you have more people at home than in the shul. What are you going to say? You said you want to say something. Okay. Yeah, but that's nothing. It's nothing afterwards. No, the main thing is the tefillah. Tefillah is the main thing. The Mokum Rino Sham take tefillah. Sham take tefillah. You ever see people running out and they say, Omeinu, while they're going down the elevator? Okay. Holding a cup of coffee. Okay. Im Noshim. Now the Ramah has a question. Oh, could women be counted within the 10 regarding Megillah? Do they qualify for pursuing Nisa? They actually came into Rak Mishum pursuing Nisa. Sagyat bin Noshim. Since the 10, its value is not to establish Eidah. It's purely to publicize the miracle, so women are sufficient. Ein pri begodim, midlo hiskir, harab kitanim, mashma disfil kam vadeim start from asor. The question is only women. Children, minors, definitely aren't even considered. It's not even the question that would establish the pursuing Nisa. The labne chiyuvaninu chiyuvan hurak bitam chinuch. Children are only there for what reason? Only purely to accustom them, to expose them to the mitzvah. But women have an obligation as men have an obligation. So not for this. No. Yeah. The same shuls, when they're missing the rabbi, they put a chumash up front. Okay, that's the same kind of shul. Okay. Okay, let's see just the barrel of it. It says Sorach Lazar Achsora. You have to try to seek out to put together a minyan for Kriyas Megillah. I'm Mishna Berura Purim HaKnesses. Person's home is next to the shul, and he has the windows open. He can hear Kriyas Megillah in his house from the shul. Should he go into the shul to be in that setting? Kain Hevi Haber Hetiv Shem Halochas Kitanos Finu Reisi Babush Hetik Ladina Hipuch Mizeh. The Yotzi Bzeh Af Lechatchil Yochel Lasos Kain. You can stay at home and listen to Megillah through the open window. And logically, no. Say, but the whole idea of Shemei Kona and the reader is my representative. So it's cool. I'm there. Look, I don't have a Megillah, right? But his reading is my reading. So if his reading is my reading, and he's within the pursuing Nisa, he's within the shul, it should be sufficient, right? Although he cites the Lavush is a student of Ramah, he says it's sufficient to be in your home. You don't have to go into the shul. He says he favors the position of the Halachos Ketanos. You should go into the shul. Yosef was aflachil. The Kriyas Megillah halo b'mokom asori novim midivrei Haran bu beishosa and shem kol mokom proshe the Gemara mode tzorch leilach l'shom dal kalponim mishum rom hajus melech. Because factually you're not part of the group. Bodies glorify Hashem to a greater degree. You'd say halachically, technically Yotze. Technically it's as if I'm there, but factually you're not there. Meaning the numbers make a difference. And since you're not part of the numbers, there's less glory. That's what he's saying. If it's a hardship, then you have no obligation. You can go. Why should I? You have to pay for the ticket. Stay home. You don't pay the ticket. You better find yourself another Kriyas Megillah. You have to start from the beginning. You can't start in the middle. It has to be. See, that's what happens when your day starts on what's day? Tuesday, right? The week starts on here on Monday. Can't start on Tuesday. You have to start the Megillah. Megillah has to be read sequentially from the beginning. You miss one word, you have to read the whole Megillah over. It has to be read in order. As long as you meet the din, or it has a reality. It's a reality. You have to be part of that, right? We always discuss this. Mishna Berura says that Lechem Mishnah Friday night. You can have one person be motzing many people, and everybody has his own Lechem Mishnah. He says it's better. You should have one Lechem Mishnah for the whole group. It's Merov Andres Melech, because one person is representing many people, rather than you have small groups, each one representing a smaller number. It's not Rav Andres Melech. Okay, let's see the Chavs.